What? A delay from the government? That never happens. But that's our topic today on the College Investor Audio Show. Welcome. I think you can sense the sarcasm. Laid it on pretty thick there. But here is why your 2026 tax return could be delayed. We'll get to it in just a second. But first, I just got to remind you, anytime you hear a podcast or snark from the podcast, you can check out the article associated with it at thecollegeinvestor.com. You can also like us and follow us, ask questions, and we'd love to get to know you and just help you along in your money journey wherever you are. You can find us at The College Investor. Just type in those words pretty much anywhere you are on social media and you'll find us. Okay, let's get to it. Here's why your 2026 tax return might be delayed. 4 years. Taxpayers have grown accustomed to filing season opening in late January. But for 2026 tax year, current projections point to a little bit of a later start. According to comments from IRS leadership, the agency is preparing for a filing season that could open around like President's Day, which would be mid-February. Yikes! This reflects added workload from new tax law provisions and the need for additional preparation time. If you're expecting a refund, the most common advice is that you should file your tax return ASAP. There's no reason to let the government keep your money any longer. It's a free loan to them. Don't let it happen. So even if you e-file early, we actually estimate that the IRS isn't even going to start processing your returns until February 17th, 2026. You can actually see our estimated tax refund calendar to know when you're going to expect your tax refund. There's a link right inside this article at thecollegeinvestor.com. The IRS is under a little bit of stress. They're under a mountain of workload and just have less people to do it. And there are also some major tax law changes for this year. A central cause of the delayed season is the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, OBBBA, enacted in July of 25. This expansive tax law rewrite includes retroactive and forward-looking changes affecting deductions and credits, brackets, compliance rules, all that stuff. Tax professionals and preparers warn this adds complexity to forms and software, requiring some extra time for IRS systems and guidance to catch up. Retroactive provisions may affect returns for the 2025 tax year, which are the ones in 2026, meaning the IRS must reprogram all the changes into processing systems before returns can be reliably accepted and processed. Budget cuts and staffing losses. Complicating matters is a significant reduction in IRS staffing. In 2025, the agency lost more than a quarter of its workforce through resignations and hiring freezes, and overall funding has dropped sharply compared with recent years. The IRS's own National Taxpayer Advocate and independent watchdogs have warned that this loss of personnel, especially among trained processors and phone support staff, could slow return processing and customer service in 2026, unless there's some swift hiring and training that is taking place right now that we don't know about. Behind the scenes, maybe. Shutdown and operational interruptions. Remember that thing? The shutdown in October, November 2025? Seems to happen like once a year nowadays. Also disrupted IRS preparations for 2026. Staffing disruptions, halted planning cycles, delayed access to critical systems during the shutdown, and that all means the agency's kind of scrambling to catch up. What does this mean for tax refund delays, you may ask? Great question. So, how long is this going to take? And everybody hates this answer. It depends. The PATH Act and refund holds. Let's talk about this. In years past, taxpayers claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit, EITC, or the Additional Child Tax Credit, ACTC, have seen built-in delays because of the PATH Act, which requires the IRS to hold refunds until mid-February to reduce fraud. This year, however, those delays could disappear because the entire season may start later. So it probably isn't even going to affect most of you. If the IRS doesn't begin accepting returns until around the 16th or 17th of Feb, then the PATH Act's refunds hold period overlaps with an already later timeline. Processing times are likely to be longer anyway. Even after you file, taxpayers should anticipate slower processing compared with recent tax years because of all the reasons we talked about. Staffing cuts, new tax law complexity, yeah, it's just going to take longer. That could translate into slower refunds and longer wait times for help or via phone or correspondence. Industry projections suggest typical refund delivery times might be, if you're filing electronically, plus direct deposit, around 21 days. If you're mailing everything and you want a paper check, it could take up to 12 weeks. Yikes. But these estimates assume the IRS can quickly accept returns and operate at full capacity, conditions that may not be met early on in the season. If you want more information on this stuff, read our common IRS questions and answers at thecollegeinvestor.com. We got tons and tons of information for you. So, what can you do now? Just a few steps to prepare ahead of this compressed and complicated tax season. Number one, gather documents early. We always say this. Don't wait for the IRS to open to get your W-2s, your 1099s, and all the other stuff together. File electronically with direct deposit into your bank account. This is going to be the fastest way to get refunds once filings are accepted. I know some of you just love to hold the check and look at it, but maybe don't do it anymore. It just takes forever. Consider working with a tax professional. Because of the complexity from OBA and all the changes to the tax law, a preparer can help avoid errors that trigger processing delays. You don't want to wait a year to get your refund. Check IRS updates. The IRS has its own Get Ready resources with tips and tricks for the 2026 filing season. Check those out. We have a link inside this article at thecollegeinvestor.com. If you want to get started on your taxes early on, you need to. You can check out our picks for the best tax software for early tax filers at thecollegeinvestor.com. Also, ask us, like us, follow us, and all the things, comment and everything at The College Investor. Just search those words. You're going to find us pretty much anywhere you are on social media. And that is our show for today. We hope it was helpful to you, and we will talk to you again real soon.